He sent it to me. On WhatsApp. Yes. All right, we're back. All right. Go, my logo.
Oh, B.
What's up, bro? How you doing, man?
I'm good, bro. I'm good.
Sorry about the network earlier.
No, so I wasn't at home, so I had to like literally come home because I was heading for a session, but I had to postpone it.
Okay. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, man.
All right. So we know you're an African artist, but
Yes,
you
I
live
am.
in the UK, and we know the kind of work you've been doing. You've been pushing yourself.
Yeah.
As an artist in the UK, you've had songs on the chart. I know you have your EP coming out on the 26th of June. Yeah.
Yes.
So let's talk about COVID-19 and what it has caused for a lot of artists. Moreover, we'd like to see you properly. I don't know if you can, yeah, let's see you. Push your hoodie back a little bit. Yeah.
No problem,
Yeah,
my hair's raw. My hair's raw.
Yeah, no, we all understand COVID-19.
Yeah.
Right, let's go.
I think the pandemic has really made every artist find another way to try to work. You know, for me, you know, I still try to find other ways to work in the sense of, you know, writing with other people via online, Zoom, FaceTime. And sometimes if I can go to the studio or link up with them at their house, I do that. You know, obviously I still take my safety measures, but I feel like you just need to find a way of how to work. You have to try to find a way. You can't just let it defeat you. Because once you allow that, you're going to miss out on a lot of things, you know, a lot of opportunities. Even things are still happening, even while this pandemic thing is happening. You know, people still need music. Like, you know, people are still making music, still trying to find options of how to write songs or get songs from people.
Okay, so what's the in your career, what's the thing that you say really hits you, COVID-19? Were you booked for any festivals this year but was cancelled?
I had some shows booked, and I had some writing sessions that were some big money, and yeah, it got cancelled because they couldn't fly in, or they just had to cancel it because they wanted to see how things will happen after the pandemic finishes. So, but I'm grateful because even during this pandemic season as well, this whatever crisis we're going through, I've had some big opportunities as well that came through for me. So it's all about working, and if you're good at what you do, like opportunities will come for you. You know?
All right. Before we go into industry conversation, I want us to let's be done with let's talk about your EP. You're dropping an EP in like 2 weeks. So talk to us about that EP.
The EP is all about me. It's all about it's titled It's titled Me EP. It's all about what I've been through since the start of my career, how I truly feel about, you know, what's been going on in my life for the past 2 years. So I wanted to like talk about how I feel and just not feature nobody and just take my time for myself for once. Because I felt like I've been giving my energy to a lot of people that I shouldn't have done, but I did it because the human in me felt like I needed to help. But then I realized it's not my job it's not my job to make sure that somebody else is doing well. You know what I mean? I've tried, you know what I mean? It's not my job. But I need to look after my own self. Because this industry is crazy. No one cares about you. And I don't take it personally no more. Before, I used to take it personally. I'll be upset, angry, like, how dare you, da, da, da. But when I realized that, hold on, bro, you can't be upset. Everybody's looking out for themselves, you know, and you just have to look out for you and make sure you do business right. Stop doing things based on friends or family or because you like the person. You know, make sure the business is done correctly.
Okay, so putting out an EP about you, that means there are a lot of issues in the African entertainment industry
Yeah,
or specifically the Nigerian entertainment industry that you would like to fix.
yeah.
If you were given an opportunity to fix one thing in the industry, what would that thing be?
Content. Giving people the opportunity, like, to promote people that are making music with content. You know, I understand Nigeria is based on, you know, enjoyment and people want to dance. I get it. I understand it. No one is saying that shouldn't, but there's no balance. There's no balance at all. So that's why I love artists, up and coming artists want to get into the industry. And the first thing they think about is, I want to write about, you know, living life, money, cars and girls and everything. But they have serious issues in their own life that they want to talk about. But they feel like if they don't talk about, if they talk about that issue, no one will listen to them. Because guess what? You got the likes of everybody like doing well, talking about girls, fast cars and everything. And I think that's the problem because the OAPs and most of the label people, they push that more. So that's the standard now. So if you're coming to the industry, it's like, if I don't sing about babe shaking her yansh or I've got like millions of naira, no one's gonna listen to me. And a lot of people said to me, "Oh, Mo, you know, go to Nigeria, this and that," and I'm like, "No, I'm not going to. I'm not gonna do that because other people have done it and it's worked for them, and I appreciate that. I love that, but I'm not gonna do it because I feel like if I do that, then why am I telling other people that once things are hard, then I should just get up and just take the easy route? I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna make my name from where I am, and I'm gonna show everyone that I've been showcasing that I'm African, and that will never stop because I'm in the UK.
Yeah.
I don't need to be in Nigeria to be able to talk about what's going on there or put that through my music. So my identity is who I am. I'm African. It will never change, you know, and I put that through my music. Even when I write for other people in the UK that are not even Nigerians, I put that through their music. I make them sound like they're Africans. So that has never been a problem. But I feel like everyone feels like the moment you go to Nigeria like this, you're going to make it. And they don't understand that even if you go to Nigeria, you still have to do the legwork. You have to be good at least, you know, so.
Okay, looking at record labels and artists, right? Have you been signed to a record label before?
Yes. I was signed to Universal. That was my first signing. I signed for a single with options. But after the single, I didn't do it because I felt like, no, they didn't understand. I was made as a guinea pig, you know, like I think I was the first UK artist to sign under the Universal.
We cannot see your face properly. Can we?
Oh, I was the first UK artist to sign under that Universal, African, Nigerian, whatever. And the A&R at that moment in time didn't understand African music at that moment in time. So it was like a testing moment, and they didn't get it right. So I just said to myself, man, I don't want to get into another deal unless it's correct. And since then I've been independent.
So you got some plaques for from your music. I saw you holding one with your mom. What was that?
Yeah, that was for I was songwriting for an artist called Swams in the UK.
Okay.
So the song sold over 200,000 units in the UK, so made it silver. So I did 4 for him, which all went silver as well. So yeah.
Wow.
I'm waiting for the other plaques. They haven't come.
Okay. So for someone like you who have done this great in music, but you see, you're doing great things, you're making moves, and you're actually making moves that a lot of artists are not making. Now, let's talk about the business side of music, right?
Yeah.
What are the things that you look at a lot of Nigerian artists and you say these guys are not, the opportunities they are not taking? What are those opportunities that you've been able to take? Because we had Mr. Easy on the show. I don't know if you watched Mr. Easy's interview. So, like, what are those opportunities that you think that you are taking that a lot of other African artists or other Nigerian artists are not taking?
I feel like a lot of people care about the money up front first. You know, I want to make the money, but don't understand that it's like if I make a song now, you're a guitarist, right? I can call you and say, Ubi, I need you to play this song for me. You play it, and you know that I'm about to sign a single for a label. So you can tell me that, Mo, do you know what? Mo, actually, don't pay me that 1 million naira that you want to pay me for my service. I'll rather take percentage. So to other people, they might be like, Mo, that 1 million naira, I need it to right now. But you getting the percentage means you're going to get more than that 1 million naira if the song does well. Because obviously it's going to be pushed. So most of the time, I feel like a lot of artists want the money. And I get it, because some people going through some things or whatever, but I feel like most of the time we just need to start thinking more about the business side of things and the longer terms, not just making the quick money right now. You know? So it depends on who you are as an artist. You know, what are you doing music for? Like, are you doing it to make money right now, or you're doing it to change your life and other people's lives?
Okay. Now, having signed to a label, the lucky thing for you is you're signed to an international record label.
Yeah.
Now, looking at the issues that currently lie in our music industry, when you hear artists fighting their record labels or record labels fighting their artists, what are those things that come to mind that you feel like are the few things that if we put in place will reduce the amount of artists that are fighting record labels and the record labels are fighting their artists?
I think as an artist, you need to have your own lawyer. You need to have your own music lawyer. I know a lot of trust. There's a lot of trust in the Nigerian scene, but you need to have your own lawyer. Don't use the same lawyer as your manager. Not saying it's a bad thing, but get your own lawyer that will read through the contract and explain to you exactly what you are getting. And if you're not happy with it, you are allowed to tell them, the person you're signing with, that, okay, I want to change this, I want to change that. What do you think? You know, dialogue and go back and forth until you meet to a mutual agreement. Most of the time, a lot of people don't read their contracts. Read your own contracts. Even if you have your lawyer yourself, read it yourself. So that when you're speaking with your lawyer, you understand that, okay, this is there and that is there. I don't want that. Can you help me to change that I want? Maybe they're giving you a 60-40 deal. You say, no, I want it to be a 70 to me, 30 to them, or 50-50. So, but if you don't read your contract, you will not know what's there. Because the problem is that they don't read the contract. And once everything is done, you want out, but you can't go out because you signed a 10-year deal, 10-year contract with them. So you have to fulfill those requirements. And if you choose not to bring out music, you're only killing yourself, because the label can go and sign somebody else and start working with them, but you can't. So it's very, very important to understand what you're signing and reading them.
All right. Well, look, I want to say thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you.
Being an artist in the UK, I think you've collaborated with Educative in the past.
Yeah.
You've done a lot of good music. You put out a lot of good music, and I want to say, if you have opportunities, we would like to bring you on the conference we're doing, the Music Week Nigeria, because there are a few things that we want a lot of up-and-coming artists, because the Music Week Nigeria is going to be streamed on radio stations here in Nigeria. It's going to be streamed on TV as well.
When is that happening?
I think it's meant to be from next week. So we'll confirm the date. It's meant to be from next week. You know, so we'll confirm the date. So it's meant to be on TV stations in Nigeria, HIP TV, and on radio stations, because that's what we're trying to do, is to let a lot of artists know that the day you pick up a contract and say you want to sign a contract, what are the things that you really would understand about this contract? Not just waking up to sign a contract and 2 or 3 years later, when you become big, you now start complaining about the record label, right? Yeah. So that's always where the problems lie, and it becomes a bigger issue or bigger pill to swallow. So those are the conversations we are trying to have to make sure that as much as possible, we fix our industry, because this industry belongs to us. It belongs to no other person. It belongs to us. And if we cannot fix it today, if you grow, if you have a son, if your son wakes up tomorrow and wants to sing, and he decides to sing from Nigeria, he's already in problem, because he's coming into an industry that has no structure and has no system.
But
Now,
I still feel like there are people in Nigeria that make good deals. They sign. So it's not that there's no good deals being signed there.
yeah, so there are good deals. Don't get me wrong, but you see, when you're driving on the road, right? Let's say you are going to Birmingham, right? And you start when you are within central London. You know, you're getting out of London. The road is good, and then you get on the on. You got what's that road again? Is it
It's
M1?
an M1, yeah, the M1.
M1. You get on M1, and the road is bumpy. It's
Yeah.
bumpy, and then the road cuts. The process flow, the driving is not going to be sweet anymore.
Yeah.
What we are trying to fix is not because the guys that have good deals, they are very little. There are not a lot of them that have good deals. So a lot of young artists will tell you that they'll start abusing their record labels. They'll start saying things about their record label. We want that thing to stop. We want, if you have an issue with your record label, you need to mediate. You need to go through alternative
Ways.
ways to make sure you can settle the issues. Right?
Yeah.
We need to find a way to make sure that as much as possible, you know, as much as possible, we find a common ground for how to make sure that, you know, for how to make sure that we fix situations in the industry. You know, it's not about people having good deals. There's also the Kosan issue. There's also there's a Kosan issue. There's a what's it called? P-Man issue. There's other streaming issues. How do you know that people are actually using your songs to do things that are not meant to do? Now, but before you go, one question. Have you ever received any check from Kosan?
Nah. My distribution or company is different. So I'm signed directly to PRS, also BMI. And so my manager literally makes sure that everything is done from this side of place. So they also collect from other African countries as well. So I work with the Orchard. Well, I was working with them, the distribution company as well. So I've never done any work with Kosan. No.
Wow. All right. Thank you so much.
But I feel like what you said. I feel like, you know, you can't really blame labels most of the time because a lot of artists don't like to listen. They don't want to learn. They don't even want to take their time to go and do research. So my thing is that you want to be an artist, but you're too lazy to even do your own research yourself. Then you've already failed already. The fact that you don't even want to go and do the minimal things of like searching. Okay, well, what does PRS mean? I always talk on my Twitter. I always give information on things, and a lot of people. I even know artists that are big that don't even have PRS. They don't even know what points they should give to an artist and that, you know. And it's crazy because you need to understand the business side. I didn't understand it at the beginning, but I took upon myself to also ask people, okay, what do you think about this? Is it the right thing? So the problem is that a lot of people are scared to ask questions, and that's the wrong thing.
All right. Thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you.
A lot of people, I'm sure, a lot of people have really learned from you guys.
Everybody, on the 26th of June.
Yeah, Monogo is dropping an
the
EP on the 26th of June. You need to pass that information around. We need to make sure we support our own. Make sure that EP trends across Africa, across the world.
Thank you.
Let's make sure that
Thank
we buy that EP. From what he said on that EP, he's been talking about himself, making sure that people understand where he's coming from and the kind of music that he represents. So thank you for coming on the show, sir.
No, thank you very much. Appreciate it.
All right, thank you. All right, that was Mologo live on Industry Conversation, music business conversation. Don't forget the Music Week Nigeria. Aldo is going to come and talk about it. We had a long session today from 6 p.m. to about 8:30. So I had to leave them at about 8:10 to come live. We were talking basically about the industry, how the conference is going to be, the speakers. Trust me, get ready for that conference. You're going to enjoy it because it's going to be big. It's going to be a conference that you would definitely love to be part of or love to attend. So it's virtual conference, so you can sit in your kitchen and attend the conference. So let's bring on our next guest. All right. Young Six in the building. Fresh boy,
Hey,
no people.
what's up, Ubi? What's going on? 6 way. You know, Sam. Update.
Please, can I take one of the golds in your teeth? Let me sell it. The gold teeth.
Uh,
Can I sell it?
it's got diamond dust in it though. It's gonna cost you
Shit.
more to take it.
Welcome to the show, bro.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it. I've actually been listening, man. Shout out to Silva, the girl that came on earlier.
Yeah.
She dropped a lot of wisdom and knowledge on this. You know, yeah.
Okay, let me tell you something. You're one artist in Nigeria that I always feel like we sleep on a lot. And I don't know the reason, but I want to tell everyone on this live, Young Six just dropped an EP. You dropped an EP.
I dropped an album.
An album yesterday or the day before yesterday?
3 days ago.
3 days ago. Guys, go and cop that album. When I saw the artwork from that album, I think Techno posted it, a few artists in the industry posted it, and there was a lot of support about the album. And I felt like it was an opportunity for you to come and let's talk about this album. We'll talk about the album, and also we talk about, because I know you passed through a lot of things in the music industry for you to get to where you are right now. So first of all, let's get into the album. Let's talk about the album.
Yeah. Okay, the title of the album is Trap Fro. Introduction to Trap Fro, not necessarily Trap Fro. Trap Fro is the genre of the album. So Introduction to Trap Fro came about when I was at a point in my career where it was all about creating a solution for a problem I saw existed in the world that we lived in, that everybody was running away from addressing. And that's the reason why hip-hop stars in Nigeria are never as big as Afrobeat pop stars. But everybody was, because as a rapper, when you want to go to your safe zone, you just drop one hit record and bam, everybody forgets that you're a rapper and invite to your hit record till it's no longer relevant. But then again, that still keeps you in the bracket of the Afrobeat stars and not defining your own, thing. So, and one of the reasons why that has happened is because hip hop has never been seen as part of the Nigerian culture. It has always been seen as a borrowed culture from the Western world. And that's because we never owned our culture in hip hop. We never defined it in our own way. So that's where Trap Fro is coming from. It's a fusion of Afrobeat and trap music. And trap music is the evolution of hip hop music as it stands as today. I don't know if you heard the record Beyonce dropped last with Megan Thee Stallion. If you hear the pattern of flow she used there, it wasn't rap. It was trap. That was the style of flow she used there. But rap was bred from trap. So trap is the evolution of rap music, and Afrobeat is our culture. So Trap Fro is defining our own style of rap and our own hip hop culture. That's what it is. So that's how the album came about. And obviously, like you said, I've been through a lot, and the different phases I went through were the things and the experiences that actually birthed this genre of music. And it's crazy. I put it out 3 days ago with over 2 million streams already. And for hip hop music, for a content that's 50% based hip hop music in Nigeria in 2020, that's big and that's huge. You feel me? So yeah, that's what the album is about. Track one shows my lyrical skills, metaphors, similes, wordplays, reminds people of the strength, my strength in hip hop. And I also talk about things like how they burnt our votes, how they stole ballot boxes, how we are at war with the police right now because they are the ones killing us and they are the ones that are supposed to be actually rooting for peace. So, track two goes to talk about decisions, where I'm talking about the difference between the rich and the poor is decisions, because I feel like we're all defined by our decisions we make in life. You feel me? Be frankly, today, you could choose to be somebody else and pay lesser bills.
Yeah.
And not face the challenges that you face as will be frankly, but it's your decision to be where you are and face these things and still grow and be a better person. So track two talks about decisions. Track three talks about on the daily where I'm in my trap elements. I'm expressing to my hip hop fans and lovers of trap music what I do. Then we have the African guitars in it that brings it back to Africa and makes it our own. You feel me? So track four is step one. It's an Afrobeat vibe, but with a trap flow. It's more like Young Thug rapping on a whiskey beat, but Young Thug being himself. So that's what trap flow is. It's like a hybrid genre of music. I could go on and on and on, but it's gonna take forever to really get in depth into that. So if you have any questions, you can ask me.
So one thing about you is you know your way with words, right? You know how you know your way with words, and I'll give you that, and I'll tell you that I'm definitely going to stream that album because I was trying to fix my, like for some of us that have Yankee iTunes, so you need to make sure that you have a Yankee card that works. So I was able to fix that today. It's been giving me a lot of issues. I've not even been able to download a few apps on my phone. So, but right now, looking at things in perspective, let's talk about the Nigerian music industry. Do you think we have a solid music industry in Nigeria?
We have a growing industry in Nigeria, but we still have a long way to go, same as our economy. Yeah, that's what it is. And the economy is actually playing like a huge role in how underdeveloped our industry is. And that's one of the reasons why the difference between Nigerian labor, aside from the skilled workers they have and the level of skills they have working for platforms like that, because of the same economy. Because, for example, you can't pay a Harvard student to work in the Nigerian labor because of how much you're making from the artist itself. You can't guarantee streams. You have to rely on shows, endorsements, and things like that, which makes it more of a risk and more of a gamble, with the business. So I feel like the economy plays a huge role in how underdeveloped the industry is. I was sitting with some executives the other day in California, and we're talking about Nigerian music industry, and they were offering me a check for this project then, which I declined obviously, but I realized that they didn't understand what we were they don't understand our music. And I told them, I said, look, if 1 naira was $1, I'll be as rich as Drake. And that's the truth.
Word.
Because the 120 million Glow will give me for my next deal is $120 million. I'll be right there with Cristiano Ronaldo and all these people. And our industry is big enough for things to happen like that if the economy was on that level. So like I feel like it goes down, way down to the economy.
Wow. So there's something very impressive about your conversation. There's something very, very impressive about your conversation. Now, looking at the industry, saying the industry is growing. As a growing industry, do you think that it's high time we put in the structures and systems and partnerships in place to make sure that Young Six has dropped an album? That album is meant to be on fire everywhere because there's a structure that the album has been dropped into. Now, is there one thing when you look at the industry, you feel like these are the things that need to be done? Now, you said something that was very, very, very key. You said if like a brand pays you 120 million naira, so if a dollar is equals to one naira, that means that's $120 million. It's side by side. That means the same money you're making in naira, if you put it aside, so that's the economic issues that we have or we're facing, as you guys are facing, as the industry is facing, as we are. So when you look at it you look at it generally, what are the few things you feel like if these things were in place, the industry will be in a better place than we are right now?
Definitely the economic issue play a huge role. And one of the reasons why I keep saying this is because, for example, you're an entrepreneur, you've obviously invested in a lot of artists.
Yeah.
Imagine if the value of what you invested in was actually the value of what that number meant in the real world, where their economy was actually working. Nobody's economy is working perfectly well. Not the American economy, not the European economy, but we all know that they are 300 or 400 times better than ours. So that's one thing that I would definitely change, because that's the reason why I've been watching you for a minute. That's the reason why when you mention in America, you have artists that are in Houston, they are big ASF. The artists in Cali, they are big ASF. People in Houston don't even know some of the artists in Cali, but they are living their lives like they are on the same level, because the economies they are in, they are being able to capitalize on everything, every coin invested. You feel me? So like it's different levels. If the economy was in a better place, students won't be thinking about how to take 5,000 naira to subscribe for Apple Music. When I was in school, my father was giving me 5,000 to school. I'm not going to subscribe to Apple Music to stream my favorite artist's music with my 5K. No. And that doesn't even determine me subscribing it. I got to buy data. That brings about the internet issue, which I feel is one major issue in Nigeria that's making youths not resourceful enough. And most people are starting to rely on illegal business and other things to survive in the economy. Because they're not exposed enough to the value of what they can do with the internet. People spend more time on Twitter than on Google researching on how to help themselves. And almost everything is on YouTube right now. You could be as educated as a graduate by just watching YouTube videos. But people are unaware of these things. So those are narratives that need to be added to, but they are sub-narratives. The major key in this still comes from the point that the economy is not working. And so many other things are not working just because of that. Because if the economy was working, investors will have more, and they will have more value for their investment. That means you have more investors. You feel me?
So for someone like you, so far, I know that right now you've been investing in your music, right? Now, looking at what you're doing right now, when someone else was investing in your music and when now you're investing in your music, what's the difference?
Sometimes people don't see the dream, because in Nigeria, let's be honest, most of the people that actually have the money to invest in the music business, they are clueless about how the industry works. So most times you just have people with money who have no idea of how or what to do with the money, but they like this artist and they believe in the artist, but they're clueless. They just know it takes a music video and it takes a lifestyle, but they don't know the back end of how it works. You feel me? So that's the difference. I have my goals, I set my goals, realistic goals, I smash them, as opposed to when somebody else was investing in my vision. You feel me?
Yeah.
And to be honest, the results are way better now, because my last 2 projects I've done, this project I just put out now just did over half of the numbers my last 2 projects did, and it's just 3 days of release.
Okay, do you think that data, right, cost of data in Nigeria should be reduced to improve the amount of streaming numbers that come out of Nigeria?
Yes, not just for music, also to help the youths to be exposed enough and educated enough about how creative they could be and how lucrative they could be with the internet. So not just for streaming, but yes, for your question, yes, for streaming, it's really, internet should be free. Look at China. If Nigeria had internet that could educate people enough about how to be lucrative and resourceful about their natural born skills, we'll have kids innovating things every day. I was telling my guy the other day, I said Nigeria could be the next China, but we don't have the vision. China is China because of because of their population and the rate of unemployment. That's why it costs Apple 10 times less to produce more in China than in America, which should be the same situation for Nigeria, because I believe what they are paying the people in China, Nigerians will take it to do that same work. So that means if we look into that sector, Apple could be producing in Nigeria at the same cost at which they're producing in China.
Word.
You feel me?
Word.
Those are insights that if we really go into things affecting music, it's also going to reflect on a lot of things affecting Nigeria. It's not just a musical thing, it's an economical thing. Like the major factor there is an economical thing, but thank God that our people love music and they'll do whatever to get the music. And that's one of the things that's gotten Afrobeat and our sound to where it is today.
Okay, looking at an artist like you, if you were meant to solve an issue between a record label and an artist in our industry, or if you were meant to be a mediator, advising both of them, having been in the industry for years now, what would be that first thing you are going to tell the artist, and what's the thing you tell the record label?
Remember the good times. Remember the good times. That would be the first thing I'll tell everybody. I'm one of the only artists that have worked with 2 labels successfully that didn't bring out any issue anywhere. I started with 411 Storm Records, as everybody knows, then KKTBM, as everybody knows, and up until today, me and Tola, we still talk like we still work together. It still creates opportunities for me, regardless of the fact that I don't work with him anymore, like on paper. You feel me? So at the end of the day, there were a lot of good times before the bad times. I may have my own impression that I wasn't, I felt like, okay, maybe they didn't do enough for me or whatever, but I wasn't educated enough to even know what I wanted at that certain point in time.
Hold on. Hold on. Six, hold on. Hold on. You just broke exactly the table I was trying to get into. Education. Continue. I wanted to establish that fact. Continue. So, you know, a lot of artists never say what you have just said now. A lot of artists never say what you just said now. At the time, you were not educated enough to understand what you actually wanted. Now, that blame game has now been passed to you. Now, you're blaming yourself because you think you were not educated enough at the time to understand what you wanted. I want you to continue from there.
Yeah, man. So at that point in time, I just wanted to blow up. I didn't care about them. It wasn't about the money. I just wanted the world to know that I can sing or I can rap. You feel me? That's what it was, you know. So I took the opportunity I felt was best for me to showcase my talent to the world. So at the point where I felt like, oh, I was strong enough to partner with my guys and they didn't want to partner, I depicted my picture the way I felt it was best needed to be depicted. You know, so I feel like I always tell people, you know, remember the good times. Because, for example, like when I was working with Stone, Tola and Obi were like my fathers, man. They literally took care of me like my father would take care of me. You know, regardless of anything that happened, I can never forget that. You feel me? And the experience were part of the lessons why I'm like a label, but I'm independent, but I'm like a label because of my experience of working with professionals like them. So that experience is added to what made me a better person. And that you can't put even money or contracts on that. You feel me?
Okay, dreams and reality. A lot of artists know what they want in their head, but some of the things are not realistic, right? So we're talking about now dreams versus reality. What are the dreams you've had, and how have you been able to bring them to reality?
Okay. First of all, I never dreamt of being a Nigerian superstar, because when I was growing up, I keep saying this. A lot of my JDs watching this right now, they'll probably know that, like, when I was growing up, there was no South City, there was no Hip TV, there was no MTV, there was no Urban TV. South City was a 30 minutes program on AIT. So there was no Nigerian superstar to look up to that, oh, this is what I want to be when I grow up. And I'm in California right now. I've made records with some of the biggest artists in the world, but you are very sure you know that it doesn't take making a record to release a record. You have to clear the record. So I can't say some of those things, but trust me, man, I've been in the studio with some of the greatest artists in the world, fam. You feel me? So that's a dream come true for me. I recently shared a moment with somebody I was watching when I was in secondary school, and it was unimaginable. That's a dream come true to me. Doing 1 million streams in 24 hours, that's a dream come true to me. I actually thought I would achieve that dream with a label, but I did it while I became independent, something I never did when I was signed with labels. You feel me? So that's a dream come true to me. So being even an African superstar was never part of the plan. I never ever thought that, oh, I'm gonna be Young Six of Nigeria one day. No, never. I always had that global dream. I felt like I felt like my talent could be appreciated everywhere in the world, regardless of where I came from. And I'm from the South, so we listen to mostly good music. Our influences are mostly from the Western culture, and that's one of the reasons. That's where trap flow came from. You know, creating that oneness, that hybrid sound that people could appreciate, and as Afrobeat and as good music at the same time. Because most of our Afrobeat music, let's not lie, it doesn't have content that much. And that means we're making fickle music. It's gonna go with time. It's a wave. And waves don't last.
This is a very, very interesting conversation we're having. And I feel like not a lot of us know that there are many artists in Nigeria, our music industry, that actually have the kind of knowledge that someone like you have. having worked with labels like especially Storm Record that had the proper structure of what a record label should be, and I don't see you leaving the label and then going astray, because right now, like you said, you have the experience of a label, you have experience of the label, and it has put you in a position where now you feel like you're a label, though you're independent, but you're a label because you worked with professionals and then you learn. Now, let's go back to education, right? Maybe one or final questions before we have you say something before we can get on the next person. Talking about education, about music, right? Now, a lot of people feel like, a lot of artists or record labels feel like they should, it's about going to school, right? That's education. But people don't understand that you have to learn okay, for example, if I'm in music, I'll be listening to Young Six right now because I want to pick a thing or two from Young Six. That's the education. If I'm in the industry right now, I want to be listening to Audu talk. I want to be listening to Anubi Franklin talk. I want to be listening to maybe Eddie Banji, Don Jazzy, you know, and Mr. Easy, because they are like the teachers of the industry, right? Because once you're in the industry and you recorded a level of success, it's teachable, it's transferable. So now, how were you able to educate yourself about the industry for you to know what you know now and, you know, be able to create your music, being an independent artist, knowing that you cannot make the wrong moves? How were you able to educate yourself? What did you do?
I lost a lot of money, man. I failed a lot. I made a lot of records that I lost a lot of money on. And during my lessons, I realized that I needed to create my own lane. You feel me? And
yeah,
that's exactly what I do. The experience sometimes will teach you. You see, what happens to most people sometimes is that they give up on the journey because of how people judge their journey without seeing their destination. So sometimes you need to just take off all the criticism that comes with the journey and focus on your destination. Once you get there, everybody will understand. That's it. We woke up one day and found out about Otedola on the magazine that this guy is a billionaire. We woke up one day and found out on the magazine that Dangote is a billionaire. When it got to that point, we understood. And their reputation and their stance and how they have depicted themselves through their hustles spoke for them. So I just focus on my destination most times. And you just see, sometimes you won't even know how much you have achieved until you look back. You feel me? So I just focus on my destination. I focus on my ultimate goals. I create realistic goals for myself that I know I can achieve without depending on anybody. I set them, I smash them. If I don't smash them, 80%, 70%, that's a pass. You know, but when you're investing in yourself and you have invested money that you lost and it took you a while to get back to be able to invest in yourself, you're going to have to move different. You know, that's why I said in my music one time, I said, mistake is a teacher. So life is like a lesson. You feel me? So that's it.
Okay. So before we leave, what are the things that you feel as an industry we can do better? Like looking at the industry in perspective, what are the things that you feel we can do better? And also, what are the things that you feel you wanted to talk about that I've not asked you on this live? What are those things that you feel? Before we go, are you a member of COSAN?
No, I'm not. I'm signed to PRS Music in the UK.
So, but do you think that COSAN is collecting money on your behalf? Do you think so?
I've seen a lot of proofs that is happening, but I don't point fingers until I know for a fact. And right now, I can't go by rumors because I've seen rumors about myself online that are not true. So I don't judge from that perspective until I know for a fact, which I haven't really taken my time to go into. So I can't really judge or say anything concerning that or point fingers or take sides. So yeah, that's my opinion on COSAN.
All right. So tell us what do you think that, let's say you're closing this conversation, what are the things that are on your mind that you feel like are things that you would like to drop for people to learn? A lot of people that are watching right now, you know, you actually answered all the questions very well. You put a lot of things in perspective, and I really like that. your Trap Pro album. We're definitely going to stream the album.
You should. It was trending on Apple Music after it came out, right there with Meek Mill and Tupac. That's a big moment for African music. I don't know why people are not making as much noise about it as they should when I do something wrong. You feel me? I've not lived to see any Nigerian rapper trend on Apple Music with Meek Mill and Tupac at the same time. That's a special moment for African hip hop and that culture right there. You feel me? So y'all should go stream the album. Trap Flow is our own. Let's support our own. Nobody wins unless the family wins. That's how it is. Yeah.
Man, thank you so much for coming on the show. I really appreciate you. You're always a very smart guy. Haven't met you a couple of times. You're always a very smart guy. And I tell you that the reality is, for someone like you, I have no problem with someone like you because you're always ready to learn. You're always ready to, to gain information. You're always ready to, you're one of those guys, they always say, they fear to enter where elders they. That's because you're very inquisitive. You want to learn. You want to break that wall, And I want to tell you, congratulations on your album. We'll definitely stream the album. Thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thank you. Thanks for sharing your platform, and congrats on everything, Ubi. Congrats on everything. You have been an inspiration to so many people that will not say it because of the kind of industry we're in. But congrats to you.
Thank you.
You have been a motivation to a lot of us. Just know you stay with it. 6 way, go stream my album, man. It's all love. Nobody wins unless the family wins. 6 way.
Yes, man. Let's do it, man. Thank you. All right, that was Young Six. I like when I have a conversation with artists and they're really they really understand where they're coming from, what they're doing. They really take their mistakes, articulate them properly, bring up a few things that they feel are solutions to how the industry can work. Guys, our next guest on the show is a big brother, a friend, but I think we have two big brothers coming on. But I think I'll ask Shehu Kuti, if he's watching, to please give us an opportunity to take on another big brother first, and then we have him after. All right. So we're going to restart this live because Instagram is going to cut us off after 1 hour. We're almost like 5 minutes to 1 hour. We're going to restart this live, and we're going to take on DJ Abbas, and we'll close the session with Shehu Kuti. So let me restart this live. Please, guys, come back on. I'll restart this live, and we'll take on DJ Abbas.